Awesome. So guys, I'm going to share my screen. I've got something I'm super excited to teach on today. Um, we are going to be talking about submitting every single week, never having a 0 week. We don't do 0 weeks here. So we're going to talk about that today as soon as I can figure out how to share my screen. Alrighty, I'm not going to worry about it. Alrighty, guys, submitting business every single week is huge. I mean, guys, I think it was literally like 2-3 years without ever having a 0 week. It is the true definition of, just taking ownership and being a true business owner. So, um, the three big topics that we're going to talk about today on submitting business. Number one is, why is it important to submit every single week? And I'm going to ask that to everybody. Why do you guys think? Um, why do you guys think that it is important to submit business every single week?
That keeps your momentum going for sure.
Absolutely. Who else?
Keeps you in line for all the PIF Perfect bonuses and corporate bonuses.
100%. Who else? Anybody?
Moving up the career track as well. Submits is a big part of it. For me, trying to hit market director, I think that's probably the premium gets there, but the submits is one of the harder ones. So making sure you submit every week so that you can, move up that career track.
100%. Yeah, guys, that is all 100% correct. So, next topic that we're going to be talking about is, how can you ensure that you submit every single week? Who wants to take a stab at that?
Keeping your pipeline full.
Yep, 100%. What else?
Keeping a plan in place, planning ahead, get your business set up every day.
100%. Who else?
Kind of to piggyback Miller time, but collecting as many referrals as possible, so you always have someone to talk to. I mean, even if you might not have appointments set up, as long as you have some referrals to follow up with.
Yep. All correct. And then, what can submitting every single week, what can that mean for you?
Steady income.
Yeah, that's right. We love income, don't we? Anybody else? Alrighty, so we're going to jump right into it. Why is it important to submit every single week? So, number one, guys, submitting every week means that you get paid every week. We're not in this business to not get paid, right? We need steady income. Number two, you're protecting families on a consistent basis. Guys, there's going to be families that need what we have, and we're there to help. We have a service mindset. So we're there to be there for folks whenever they have to use this policy. The more people that we protect, the more likely that somebody's going to have to need this. Number three, you're forming the right habits. If you start out by submitting each and every week, making it a non-negotiable to submit every week, you're forming the right habits. So that means that, later on in your career, it just feels weird if you don't submit business. Number four, you're staying in line for the PIF Perfect bonus. Guys, that's a humongous bonus. You literally have the potential to make over $400 a month in just bonus cash alone, as long as you submit business each and every week. how many of you guys came from a career before this or a job before this that would give you a bonus every single month just for doing your job? And not just a bonus, but a bonus that it can be enough for your car payment, for all of your your small utility bills or anything like that. Another thing, guys, is you're helping out your leadership team. You know, once you advance into market director, regional director levels, guys, we count on submits each and every week. We count on you guys. Okay. It makes you a true business owner. And we're going to get into more of that here in just a minute. It holds you accountable. If you're submitting every single week, you know that you're doing the right thing. You know that you're going to work. It makes you dependable. Not just for your client, or not just for yourself, but for your clients, for your leadership team, for your family. They can depend on you because, guys, they took a gamble. They took a risk on you taking this career, a commission-only career. You know, it's a big jump. It's a big leap. But submitting every single week is something that your family can definitely depend on if you do it. And it sets you up for success in this career. Guys, submitting every single week is so huge and it's so powerful to be able to do. Does anybody have any questions on the topics that we just went over on why it's important to submit every week?
No, man, I just want to make a statement, though. You hit it on the head with the bonuses. I mean, I'm sure everybody came from companies where they give you 3% at the end of the year of your salary, and when you break it down monthly, that's like maybe 20 or 40 bucks a month, which is maybe a trip to Bojangles. That's about it.
Yep, 100%. 100%. So, guys, how can we ensure that we submit every single week? You know, from the very beginning, from the interview process, we started talking to you guys about 2 out of 3 days. 8 hours out in the field, 25 approaches or 6 demos, and a family protected. So striving for a 2 out of 3 day each and every day is huge. Guys, this is a numbers game. It doesn't matter how many times that you get told no during a week. The more no's that you get leads to the more yeses. So, guys, go for no. Strive for a 2 out of 3 day every single day. Make that a non-negotiable. Be a true business owner, and you can ensure that you're gonna submit every single week. Work referrals, guys. Referrals are huge. You know, working referrals, they're a lot easier to sell versus just going and cold calling. Let me make sure there's nobody else in the waiting room real quick before we keep moving on. Got one. Working referrals is huge. Guys, we have a huge CRM that we just started getting access to, and it's awesome. Use the Salesforce to the best of your ability. Use it for your clients for reservicing. Use it for prospecting, mapping out. Look at your territory, find the businesses, make a chicken list, and use the CRM to the best of your ability. Guys, reservicing is huge. 80% of people that you've signed up for insurance will buy more insurance from you. So reservice your area. Work your area tight. You know, be a true professional and work your territory tight. Make sure that every single business is hit, and not just one shift of the business. Don't just go in the morning and say, oh yeah, that business is maxed out. Guys, there's so many businesses in your territory that have multiple shifts or have multiple people working throughout the week. So you might go in on a morning shift, and my favorite thing to do is, hey, Stacy, who comes in later today? Who comes in for the evening shift? Who comes in for the night shift? You know, who's going to be here tomorrow that I can come in and introduce myself to? And guys, when you come back around and you see that person, you say, hey, let me show you exactly what I showed Stacy a little while ago. She really, really loved it. Let me sit down and show it to you. Guys, that's just working your area tight and working your area smart. and they're a lot more likely to pick up coverage with you if you're doing that. Be a true business owner and hold yourself accountable. Guys, it is huge. I can't tell you how many times that, on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that, whether I was training all week or, I had something else going on and I hadn't submitted business yet. Guys, what I did for me, I would go out, and it didn't matter, what time. It was a non-negotiable for me that I was going to submit every single week. I was not going to go a week without getting paid. It just was not going to happen. So if that meant on Sunday night at 12 p.m. going and hitting a third shift spot, or going to a gas station, or whatever it may be, it might not be the best business in the world, but I was going to make sure that I submitted. That was a non-negotiable for me. Other ways that how you can ensure that you submit every single week is having the mindset that you will find a way. You have to know in your mind, you have to have that engraved in your mind, that hunger, that drive, that passion, that you are going to make something happen no matter what the circumstance is. Tell you guys a story. Back in February of this year, I took a week-long cruise, came back on a Sunday. We drove, I think it was 10 hours from Florida, and got back home. Guys, I was sitting there on the way home trying to schedule appointments for when I got back, and I made it happen. I submitted business after being gone for an entire week. But I just had that non-negotiable, that mindset, that hunger, that drive, that tenacity, that I was not going to have a week where I did not submit. Biggest thing, guys, if you are struggling trying to submit every single week, reach out. Guys, we have some of the best leaders in the company that you have access to here in this agency. We've been through it all. Anything that you are going to go through, any challenges that you're going to face, we've already gone through them. We've already made it out on the other side. We can help you guys any way that we can. We're going to. And so all you have to do is reach out. We don't know what's going on if you're not completely and totally honest with us, and you're not bothering us. Okay? We want to be there for you. We want to help you guys out. And I think Miller Time hit it on this too. Keep a full pipeline, guys. Keep busy. Referrals, appointments, enrollments, follow-ups, reservices. Brandy does it really, really good of, looking at the week that she had the year prior, and then going back and seeing what businesses that she worked with, and she'll go back around and reschedule a reservice with them. And guys, her pipeline is super full all the time. Another huge thing, guys, don't skip over businesses. That is huge. Guys, businesses don't buy, people do. So if you skip over a business, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing the people within the business a disservice, and their families. So don't skip over a business. Every business has a cool person at the business, at least one or two. So going and seeing those people at those businesses can ensure that you are going to submit each and every week. Okay. And I wish that I could have had my screen share to work, because I actually made a PowerPoint, and I put in my canvassing charts from when I first started. So guys, I'm going to kind of just run through my canvassing chart really, really quick, just rattle off some numbers to you. This is from my first week in the business. I did 49 hours. I had 90 contacts, 45 demos. I protected 13 families. Second week of the business, 53 and a half hours, 73 contacts. I did 39 demos, protected 5 families. Third week in the business, 51 hours, 59 contacts, 38 demos for 5 families. Fourth week in the business, actually had oral surgery that week. I had 38 hours, so I worked a really, really short week that week. Did 55 contacts, 31 demos, and I protected 14 families. Fifth week in the business, I did 44 hours, 62 contacts, and 34 demos. But guys, the biggest thing that I want you to understand on how you can ensure that you submit business every single week is doing your non-negotiable 2 out of 3 days, 40 hours, 30 demos, and you're going to make something happen. The product that we have access to, the product that we sell, is way too good for, if you're showing it 30 times a week, for somebody to not pick it up. It's just the law of numbers. It's the law of averages. It is how it is. Okay. Does anybody have anything on that topic right there of how you can ensure? Any key ideas, takeaways, questions, anything like that?
CJ, great part. Hey, I'm gonna share your canvassing chart real fast so everybody can see it. I just pulled it up.
Perfect. Yep. So right there, first week, 49 hours, 90 contacts, 45 demos, 13 families. I sold 26 policies for 17,801. So guys, yeah. But the biggest thing, guys, is doing your solid 40 hours and 30 demos every single week. That is the key to success in this business. That is the key to submitting business every single week. Okay. And then next part, what can submitting every week, what can that do for you? The PIF Perfect bonus, guys, minimum, if you submit every single week, 15,000 a month, which is not hard to do. I know that we just changed the guidelines. If you have a higher A to T ratio, it's obviously more money than that. But guys, at a minimum, that's $4,800 a year in bonus money potentially. Guys, that's huge. How many jobs out there will give you a almost $5,000 bonus every single year just for showing up and going to work? I really don't know of any. It ensures that you have a steady paycheck coming in each and every week. It forms the right habits up front. It helps you be a legit business owner. And it also helps you keep a full pipeline. Guys, you're going to run into people out in the field, people that you protect that are like, oh, you need to show this to my sister. You need to show this to my aunt. You need to show this to my mom or my cousin or my daughter. You're going to run into those people, and it's going to be awesome. And then just some facts about submitting every single week. If you're running your business like a business, it shouldn't be hard to submit every week. Guys, if you were to go open up a McDonald's franchise right now, it's going to cost you roughly between $500,000 and $1.5 million to open up a franchise, depending on how big the franchise is. Your profits for your first year are going to range between $100,000 and $300,000 from running your own franchise. Guys, we have the same opportunity here for you guys to make between $100,000 and $300,000 just for going into work, just for doing what you said that you're going to do, what you committed to in the interview process. And you don't have to make that $500,000 to $1.5 million investment up front. So if you're not taking this thing seriously, why not? You didn't have to invest that money up front, but you can reap the same rewards. If you were to go and open up a McDonald's franchise, how many hours a week would you be there, Miller time? You still on the call?
A lot of hours.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't ever be home. We have the same opportunity here, but without having the huge investment up front. So the big question is, guys, what's holding you back? Investing upfront, running your business like a business, it's huge. It's going to guarantee you success. It's going to make sure that you guys submit every single week. It's going to bring in a steady paycheck. You're going to level yourself up, skill yourself up. You're going to become better agents, true sales professionals. And you're going to earn a very, very great income for you and your family. It is monumentally important to submit every single week. It's a non-negotiable. We don't do 0 weeks. I know that when I first started, we said that all the time. I feel like we need to start saying that again. We don't do 0 weeks. Any questions, any takeaways, guys? What is one action item, guys, that you're going to put into place starting today to start you guys off on the right track, continue your momentum into the new year?
Just making sure to put in, like you said, the non-negotiables, putting in the 2 out of 3 days. Everything else kind of falls into place. When you end up kind of cutting your days short, you notice the pipeline gets less and less in it. But if you're really putting in those days, those hours, every single day, you see your pipeline just magically filling up.
Yep. 100%, guys. It's called paying the system. The system is always going to pay you back no matter what. It might be later on that day. It might be tomorrow. It might be next week. But if you do the right things up front, the system is going to pay you back. Just getting the no's out of the way early on in the day. Guys, it's so fun to work with newer agents, and we just get told no from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. But right at 5, that's when the yes happens. That's when the magic happens. Every single time. It doesn't ever fail.
Hey guys, I'll share this real quick about CJ. Is just that CJ went his first couple years in the business without ever having a 0 week. Some of those weeks were 15, 17,000 a week. Some of those weeks were 2,000, 3,000. Some of those weeks weren't as much premium as one week was 40,000, his best week so far. But you're only going to have those big significant weeks if you're consistently running your business like a business. So CJ, the reason why he was our top producer for 3 consecutive years is because he was in the field legitimately 40 hours every week. Now, was he working 60, 70 hours a week like he was before coming here as a beer delivery guy? No, he never really worked 60 or 70 hours a week, but he worked a consistent 40. So he was literally running the business like a business. I remember when CJ, his first 6 months, he would call me 3 to 4 times every day. He called me always between about 8:30 and 9 a.m. and always, about 5 to 6 whenever he was wrapping up his day, just to hold himself accountable. If there was ever a day that CJ didn't call me, I knew that he probably wasn't working as hard that day or wasn't as fully engaged. So I just know for a fact CJ calls me every single day because he's out there working, he's hustling. So make sure you have that accountability with your trainer, with your coach, just kind of hold you onto that line of high standard, and just make sure you're doing the actual work. It gets easier over time. You work 40 hours a week, do the 30 demos. There's going to be some weeks you're going to have 8 families protected. Some weeks you'll have 4. Some weeks you'll have 14. But that consistency is what's key in this business. And all of our agents that have been here longer than a year or two that submit business every week, the Matt Schwartz, the Joy Bellamy's, look at their lifestyle right now. It's pretty good. They have a pretty good lifestyle. CJ, I remember when I hired him, we ran his interview at Panera Bread in Hickory, North Carolina. Guys, CJ, his lifestyle now has insanely leveled up. It just the way that him and his wife he retired his wife within 6 months of being here. He bought a new boat, new RV. I could go on for days on what this has done for him, but it all starts with being consistent. And he literally had a lot of things going against him. He had mouth surgery in his first month, and that's a pretty big deal. And he still submitted that week. I was like, man, that's talk about non-negotiables, right? Even on all these Mexico trips and all that good stuff. when he gets back on Saturday, he's going to make sure he's submitting business right after that, right? So just being a game changer, just consistency is key. If you're a professional athlete, if you're an actor, consistency is what's going to win you championships in the long run. And so this career is about consistency. It's not what you can do for 1 week. Yeah, that's cool. That's sexy. You have a big week one time. But honestly, the grand scheme of things, it's what you're doing on a day by day by day by day basis when nobody there is around you. That's going to separate you. And protecting a family every single week is honestly a non-negotiable. Your goal, if you're going out there working each week, should be, a lot higher than just protecting at least one family, but is making sure you're doing all the activities that it takes to be successful. And that franchise analogy was awesome about the McDonald's franchise. That was incredible. And I tell people in the interview process, you don't have to invest, $500,000 to open up your own snowboard shop or a pizza joint. Here you only have to invest about $300 to get your insurance license. However, you can make a lot more money here than you can at running those franchises, especially with the residual income involved. And you don't have that overhead expense, but you do got to run the business like you are running a business like that, especially when you first get started. Like it's non-negotiable, 9 to 5, you're in the field. You're not at your home, you're in the field between those hours. Is it going to look like that forever? No, but at the very beginning, you definitely need to really hold yourself accountable. And that's why you have coaches here, so you can reach out to them. CJ, this is a great part. Sorry about the technology issues, guys. Not sure why the screen was not able to be shared on his end, but it's all good. Today was an awesome part, CJ.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Guys, it is Thirsty Thursday. Let's go out and make it happen. These are the 2 best days of the week, Thursday and Friday. That's when Miss Jones gets paid. So let's go, let's go protect her before she spends all her money at Dollar General. Let's go have a huge finish to the week and go be a blessing for Mrs. Jones today. Thank you guys for being on.
Thanks, CJ.